So this is my recap of the year, I guess, in my first year writing class. In the first semester, we did a lot of social media and pop culture type stuff. And I thought that was interesting because normally we don't do that every other writing class I had. We were only really given freedom to pick what we want to write about within so many choices. And because we've analyzed pop culture and social media and everything like that so much, it definitely has somewhat changed my perspective of it. Before I was just kind of I analyzed it without really realizing I was doing it. I'd see a YouTuber I like or something, or someone say something, and then I would be like, okay, that makes sense for them. They're probably, or they tweet out an ad and I'm like, they don't really care, they're just doing that for money. But now I can kind of look at it more and be like, oh yeah, they tweeted out this ad for shaving cream or whatever because, they need the money and it fits with their branding, so it doesn't seem completely out of left field. Stuff like that. I know that was a really bad example. It's very vague, but stuff like that. I kind of look at things a little more analytically, or not judgmental, but I kind of judge what it is that I see and how it fits with whoever posted it. But not a lot. I still kind of just interact with it the same as I did before. So cultural assumptions was another thing we talked about, and I knew what they were, I just didn't know that was what they were called. Cultural assumptions are kind of, to very loosely explain it, I guess, they're stereotypes, but a little bit deeper than stereotypes. So I kind of knew what they were, but after spending a couple months, really, digging into it for, a project, or a paper, or whatever you want to call it, I definitely, learned more about it and, figured out why it's called that, and how it's different. And I don't think it's changed, my new knowledge of it, I don't think that's changed how I've interacted with social media in pop culture. I mean, it might have, but I don't really notice myself changing that much. Just every once in a while I'll be I'll see something from the news, oh yeah, this indigenous group of people from this country is now whatever, and I'll be that's not right, or you see I don't know, a racist stereotype, something, I'll be that's a racist stereotype, that's a cultural assumption, that's not true, or it's offensive, but it's true, unfortunately. So, stuff like that, and, I don't think it's changed the way I've looked at, real life either. It's definitely something that, I've kind of always looked at, but I don't think really learning about it has changed how I look at everything. I feel I look a little more with a slightly different lens into things like that, but I don't know, maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't notice if I do or not, and no one's ever said, oh yeah, you are, and I've never caught myself, but I feel I probably do, to some extent, because once you learn something like that, you kind of can't help it, in my opinion. Even if you don't realize you're doing it, you end up doing it. So some past projects we had in the writing class, the first semester at least, I enjoyed, a lot more than this semester, which was just one big essay. Everything was working towards one paper, whereas last semester it was a month or so working towards one paper. We hand that in, and then we did it 2 more times, sort of. But yeah, I mean, the first project we did, right off the bat, was we got an anonymous partner. Well, not anonymous, but like we got our partners and no one knew who had who. You only knew who you were writing about, and then we had to use their social media to kind of talk about like how that kind of relates to us. And like that was probably like my favorite assignment we've done, because like I think stuff like I thought that was like really cool. But like I had fun with it. I struggled with it because I wasn't sure how to do it, because it was like right off the bat and I had no idea what I was doing, as I've said almost every day this year. But like I actually like had a lot of fun like writing it and reading mine over and reading my research groups. Like I thought it was cool like how you can do that, but I never got mine because my partner, person who had me, never handed in their essay, and I'm still bitter about that, because like I wanted to see who wrote about me and like what they thought of me, because like it was disappointing because like everyone else had one and then I didn't get one, and that made me sad. Still bitter. But that in itself kind of like changed how I look at myself, sort of, because it's like it's not my fault that this person didn't hand it in, because I didn't even know this person had me. I don't even know who the person is. But the fact that like they didn't do the work and they had me just kind of makes me feel like, oh, they're either lazy or they really don't like me, or they, because like they didn't do any of the work, and the work was kind of researching me while also researching themselves through me. That's kind of how I did mine. I don't know if everyone did it that way. So like, I don't know, was like, I don't use Instagram or Twitter that much. Like, back then, even now, I don't really use it that much, so like I didn't have a lot of like stuff to go on, and like I don't think I'm that boring of a person. So it shouldn't have been like really hard to like find something to connect to yourself. Like I have a lot of different ideas and such. I'm into a lot of things, a very broad range. Something should have been there. But yeah, like I don't even remember doing all the readings that have been listed on this vlog checklist. Like I remember like doing them, but I don't remember anything like about them. Like I just remember like we were assigned it and then we were like, okay, here's what we're doing with it. I don't remember anything else like that. That's probably just what everyone wants to hear from a student. So applying all of this new knowledge like about writing and rhetoric, no, I completely forget what rhetoric is. Again, just what I should be saying at this point in my life. Like everything I learned about it, I can definitely like apply it. Like I'm not entirely sure how, but I know that I'll be able to, because like I want to be a writer in some aspect, either like writing scripts for like movies and TV, or writing novels like from like a bookstore, like fiction novels. I don't like doing real life stuff that much, so that's like too much research and everything. It's just nah. But yeah, like I can definitely use it, because like since I want to be a writer, I kind of have to take a lot of writing classes in order to like get that on my degree, so I'll be able to use some of the stuff I've learned to write better. And I can even use it for like when I just like write little stories and stuff for myself, or that I post online, so that's always a plus. And if it helps me in college, it'll probably help me in my professional life, at least with that part of my goal. So I hope that works. I don't know if I'm any good at it, but like I have the knowledge to some extent, so I can at least say I have that. So doing all of this like work in collaboration with my classmates, my professors, the librarians, writing tutors, other people that go here, other classes, whatever, like interacting with other people for all of these projects and stuff. I kind of hated it, but I also kind of loved it, because like I don't do people very well. I'm not a people person. I'm very shy. I don't like talking to people, especially if I don't know them. Like, if all I know is, like, their name and, like, their face, I'm like, I don't talk to them. I wait for them to come to me, but that doesn't always work, so I had to kind of, like, I wouldn't really, like, talk to people even in my writing class unless, like, I had to. Like, if we were, like, forced, and even then, sometimes I would say, like, the bare minimum. I'm a great partner. But it definitely changed how I write, like, that I know for a fact, because I got all these outside takes on my writing, unbiased, biased, looks at it, different opinions, different set of eyes, different thought processes, different ways of doing things. So I got a bunch of different feedback, so I looked at everything from a bunch of different perspectives, and it definitely helped me, like, take criticism better, because, like, I'm really bad with criticism, too. Like, I don't like people critiquing me. So I kind of had to get over that in order to do all of my work here, and, like, I still don't really like criticism, but I feel like I definitely, like, took it better, especially towards, like, the end of the year. Definitely taken it a lot better than I had before. Some stuff I'm still, like, iffy with, like, I don't do, like, all the edits I'm given from classmates and stuff, but, like, it's my paper, and I don't have to take any suggestions if I don't want to. I have to receive them, but I don't have to follow through with them. Unless I have to, then I do. Like, if I'm told, like, this person's gonna edit your thing, and then you have to make the changes they say, then I'll make the changes whether or not I want to, or I'm happy with it. But I'll do what I have to. And I don't know. I don't think it's really changed my writing identity, other than, like, taking criticism more. Because, like, I'm incredibly stubborn in every aspect of every part of my life. So I don't like change that much. And having people wanting me to change my writing, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I think it's really only changed the fact that, like, I'm more not open to it, but I don't get angry or annoyed or upset if someone gives me criticism, or at least not as badly as I used to. So I don't know, I hope that changed. I hope I changed, I don't know. I haven't read anything I wrote, like, before. Like, the last thing I read that I wrote, like, before, like, I came here and started doing a freshman writing class, was something I wrote, not for school, just, like, for myself, from, like, I'm pretty sure, like, 2012. It's, like, it was real bad. Like, 13-year-old me was, like, an awful, awful writer. It's so bad. I put it online, too. Strangers have read this, like, multiple times. It's so bad. Like, I want to delete it from the internet, but at the same time, I'm proud of it. Because, like, looking back at it now, it was awful. But taking into the consideration that it was the first time I'd done anything like that, and I was 13, it was cringy AF, but it was still not as bad as it could have been. It's like, I also, like, critique myself, but I don't even like doing that too much. I just like roasting my younger work, or the work I did as a younger person. I don't know if that made sense, but whatever. But yeah, like, I don't know, I like this class, and, like, all the stuff we did. Like, it was fun, it was new, it was different. It was a lot more hands-on than, like, all my other classes, like, here and before and everything, so. Yeah. I'm gonna miss it.